Chapter 2. The Descent. The entrance beneath the heart tree was dark, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and something ancient. Levi, ever the opportunist, rubbed his hands together. "I have a good feeling about this," he mused, stepping forward with an air of confidence that bordered on reckless. Ost shot him a wary glance. "You have a good feeling about being the first to walk into a death trap?" "Exactly," Levi grinned, "which is why you should go first." Zal ignored their banter, his grip tightening on his sword as he led the group inside. The tunnel sloped downward, smooth stone, giving way to ancient carvings of dragons and celestial bodies. Roan, silent as ever, traced his fingers along the etchings of Saloon's crescent moon, his devotion unwavering. As they ventured deeper, the flickering torchlight revealed a grand chamber lined with statues of dragons, their eyes hollow and ominous. At the center of the room sat an altar, upon which rested a glowing red orb. The moment Levi set his sights on it, his face lit up like a child spotting an unattended pie. "That," he announced, "belongs to me." Before anyone could protest, he reached out. The moment his fingers brushed the orb, the ground trembled, the statue's eyes igniting with an eerie glow. "Levi," Ost snapped, "you absolute—" The statues moved. Stone ground against stone as the dragon guardians stirred to life, their once hollow eyes now burning like embers. The air grew thick with magic, and the realization hit them all at once. They had triggered something ancient, something that was not meant to be disturbed. Levi held the orb close to his chest, his expression shifting between triumph and mild concern. Guys, I think I did a thing." Zal unsheathed his sword, his voice steady. "Then, we better survive it." The battle for the red orb had begun. The stone dragon guardians, awakened by Levi's greed, descended upon the party with mechanical precision. Zal stood firm, his blade carving through enchanted stone, while Ost weaved between attacks, striking at weak points with ruthless efficiency. Levi, realizing he had triggered something very bad, did his best to both protect the orb and avoid becoming a smear on the cavern floor. Bob, ever the pragmatist, simply tried to stay alive. Roan, silent and unwavering, called upon the power of Saloon. A radiant burst of moonlight filled the chamber, causing one of the statues to crumble into dust. Levi, emboldened by the unexpected divine intervention, shouted, "See, even the gods approve of my treasure hunting." No one had time to respond before the remaining statues lunged. Two assailants cornered Zal and got him off balance in an instant. A tactical blow disarmed him from sword. Fortunately, a previously unnoticed dust-covered shield hung on the wall by his head. He reflexively lifted from the wall just in time to place in between him and a devastating blow from the statue. With renewed footing, Zal dove to deftly reacquire his sword, which lay several feet away, turn and regain the upper hand. It took all their skill, strategy, and, in Levi's case, sheer luck to destroy the last of the Guardians. A silver bolt from Levi dealt the killing blow as the statue got too close for comfort. A loud boom, and the animated stone blasted apart. As dust and fragments shot everywhere, Levi instinctively turned away explosion. As one significant chuck hurled his way, his satchel took the brunt of the hit. The sound of glass breaking, and orange liquid began to pour from his bag. As he reached in to check the remains, a now soaked, handwritten note becoming increasingly difficult to read. Levi quickly deciphers the note to read, "Drink me once you have the orb and have made it back to the surface." As the final one fell, the chamber trembled. The ground cracked, revealing a deeper passage leading even further underground. Os knelt beside the chasm, inspecting it. That's not ominous at all. Only one way to go, Zal said, wiping stone dust from his armor. Forward. Deeper into the ruins, the group encountered something unexpected. Goblins. Not just any goblins, but an entire warband, gathered around what appeared to be a shrine. A bugbear in elaborate war paint stood before them, chanting something in a guttural, ancient tongue. The air shimmered as if magic was at work. We could sneak around them, Os suggested. Levi scoffed. Or we could introduce them to the universal language of fireballs. I've got a scroll I've been itching to try out. The group opted for a more subtle approach by their standards. Zal led the charge, crashing into the goblins like a wrecking ball, while Ost picked off stragglers with his bow. Levi, true to his word, unleashed a fireball that sent several goblins flying. Roan, ever the silent guardian, cut down enemies with serene efficiency, his movements precise and lethal. But even victory had its cost. The bugbear, in his dying breath, uttered a final incantation. The air grew still. A shadow loomed over Roan. Then, without a sound, he fell. Zal turned just in time to see his comrade collapse. A dark, withering wound spread across Roan's chest, some foul curse beyond any of their knowledge. The cleric, who had saved them countless times, was beyond saving himself. For the first time in a long while, Zal felt helpless. Roan's gaze, steady and unwavering even in death, locked onto Zal. No words were spoken. None were needed. Zal bowed his head, gripping his sword tightly as Roan's life slipped away. Then he made his decision. In the silence that followed, Zal knelt beside Roan's lifeless body. He placed a hand over his fallen comrade's chest and whispered a solemn oath. "I will not let your faith die with you." As if in response, a faint glow flickered around him. Siloon's presence, acknowledgement, a new path. Levi, uncharacteristically quiet, patted Zal's shoulder. "So, does this mean you're going to start being all pious now?" Zal exhaled slowly. "It means I have a purpose." Os nodded approvingly. "Good. You'll need it. Because whatever that bugbear was summoning, it's still down here." With renewed determination, the group pressed on. The dungeon had more secrets to reveal, and they would face them together. The deeper halls of the dungeon smelled of damp stone and old magic. Strange carvings adorned the walls, depicting dragons locked in battle with armored warriors. The air hummed with an unseen energy, and at its center stood a doorway, locked with intricate golden filigree. Zal approached, gripping his sword. "Ost?" Ost ran his fingers over the inscriptions, his mind quickly deciphering their meaning. "It's a ward. Magical. Some kind of test." "Oh, good," Levi interjected. "Another ancient puzzle. I was getting worried we'd run out." The moment Os pressed his hand against the markings, the golden etchings pulsed with life. The doors groaned open, revealing a vast chamber bathed in eerie green light. At its heart stood a throne, and on it a figure clad in ancient armor, its eyes glowing with malevolent intelligence. "You are trespassers," the warlord rasped, his voice like rusted chains grinding together. "And you carry what is mine." His gaze locked onto the red orb clutched in Levi's hands. "Yours?" Levi tightened his grip. "Funny, I don't recall your name on it." The warlord raised a gauntleted hand, and from the shadows, skeletal warriors emerged, their rusted weapons gleaming in the sickly light. The temperature in the room dropped. The air crackled with anticipation. "It belongs to the conqueror," the warlord declared. "Prove yourselves worthy, or perish." Zal stepped forward, his new conviction burning bright in his chest. "Then let's see who conquers who." With that, the chamber exploded into chaos, steel clashing, magic flaring, and the fate of the red orb hanging in the balance. The warlord moved with unnatural speed, his ancient armor groaning with every step. His skeletal warriors surged forward, their rusted blades gleaming under the eerie green light. Zal met them head-on, his sword cutting through bone with brutal efficiency. Ost fired arrows in rapid succession, each one finding its mark in the exposed joints of the skeletal soldiers. "Keep them occupied," he called out. "I'll find a way to break whatever magic is holding them together." Levi, gripping the red orb tightly, backed away. And hear me out, we run." Zal shot him a look. "Stand and fight, coward." Levi sighed. "Fine, but if I die, I'm coming back to haunt you." Alaric, ever eager to be the hero, leaped onto a pile of rubble, strumming a dramatic chord on his lute. "Fear not, comrades, for I shall inspire you with—" A skeletal archer immediately shot an arrow at him. The bard yelped and dove for cover. "Rude!" Zal focused on the warlord himself. The ancient figure swung a massive rusted blade, the sheer force of it shaking the ground. Zal barely dodged, retaliating with a powerful strike that sent sparks flying. "You're not taking this orb." The warlord chuckled, a hollow, rattling sound. "It was never yours to take." Ost, studying the carvings along the chamber walls, finally spotted something, a central rune pulsating with the same eerie glow as the warlord's eyes. "There! That's the source of his power," he shouted. Alaric nodded and sprinted toward the rune, slashing at anything in his way. With a mighty swing, he shattered the stone, sending cracks through the entire chamber. The skeletal warriors trembled, their forms flickering before crumbling into piles of dust. The warlord staggered, his glowing eyes dimming. Zal saw the opening and didn't hesitate. With a roar, he drove his blade straight through the ancient armor. The warlord let out a guttural snarl before collapsing to his knees. Levi stepped forward, peering down at their fallen foe. "So, does this mean we win?" The warlord's body crumbled, leaving only his rusted sword behind. The eerie light in the room faded, replaced by an uneasy silence. Ost picked up the sword, frowning. "This isn't over. This kind of magic lingers." Zal exhaled, gripping the red orb. "Then we take what we came for and get out, before anything else wakes up." With the warlord defeated, the group made their way back through the dungeon, the weight of their journey settling on them. Roan's absence was felt deeply, but his sacrifice had given them purpose. Levi twirled the orb in his hands, its glow dancing across his weathered features. "So, what exactly are we going to do with this thing?" he muttered, half to himself, half to the group. Returning it to Ivel might be the only way to determine what it is. Ost crossed his arms, eyes never leaving the orb. "Power like that doesn't go unclaimed. If it falls into the wrong hands—" His gaze drifted to the others in the group, lingering for just a second longer than necessary. "I'm staying with it, at least until I know it's not going to be misused." Zal, standing silently for a moment, finally spoke. "Roan gave his life for that thing. He must have seen something, some greater purpose." The half-orc's voice was low but steady. "I need to know what that was. I need to make sure it wasn't in vain. Bob let out a long sigh and tightened the strap on his satchel. Look, I was told to bring it back and get paid, so that's what I'm doing. You want to poke it with magic or whisper to it about destiny? Fine, but I'm not going home empty-handed. Alaric grinned, adjusting the collar of his coat. Well, I'm not one to walk away from a story this good. We've got mystery, danger, ancient relics, and now, tragedy. He paused, growing slightly more serious. That kind of story only gets better if we stick together. As they emerged from the depths of the dungeon, the morning sun greeted them. The world outside had not stopped for their struggles, but they had changed. Whatever the orb was, whoever wanted it, it had drawn them together. And for now, that was enough. Their journey was far from over. And Clarice was not done with them yet.